All right, time to have another retro review of Star Trek The Original Series. This one, Court Martial, after this. Hello out there, I'm the oldest nerd. This is a classic Star Trek story. We have a situation where the captain has gone into Starbase 11 for repairs to the Enterprise, makes his report to the commanding officer there, Commodore Stone, I believe, and finds out that the computer records, which are never wrong, contradict his story. And so, since computers are infallible, especially in the 23rd century, Kirk is doubted. The Commodore says, hey, just say that you blacked out or got overly anxious, and we'll give you a desk job and sweep it under the carpet. Well, Kirk will have none of this. He says, I know what I did, and I'm not guilty of this. And Commodore says, well, it's going to have to go to a full court-martial, and we've never done that to a starship captain before. And Kirk says, well, then I demand it because I've got to clear my name and all that. So that's where this all gets started. And we introduce the attorneys for both sides, one by the name of Ariel Shaw, who is just another one of these women that Kirk had a relationship in the past, where McCoy has one of his better lines where all the people I remember from my past are doctors. And everybody that Jim remembers from his past look like you. So that she was the prosecutor, and the defense lawyer was Samuel Cogley. They mention before we get to the real point of the whole episode, there's a couple of interesting little tidbits in here. They mention original ship that was served on between Kirk and Finney was NCC 1371, the Starship Republic. And Finney was the records officer aboard the Enterprise, even though he had been, reported by Kirk back on the Republic, which had caused Finney to, instead of having a captaincy by now, is now just kind of a low-level officer, let's say, on the Enterprise. He is, of course, a records officer, so he's got a job of some importance. Nevertheless, they also mention Space Command rather than Starfleet Command. Starfleet has already been talked about. The Federation has not, but they did mention Space Command. I thought that was kind of interesting. Then we have Spock was a lieutenant commander as well as McCoy. Later on, Spock was made full commander in the original series. McCoy and Uhura and Chekhov and everybody else got made commander before the movies got very far down the line. They have a witness of the personnel officer. Quite obviously did not give her a name, which I think is kind of funny, considering that this is the personnel officer. They should have at least given her some kind of name. They give everybody else some kind of name, but she was just some yeoman-looking person who was actually an officer and just didn't have a name. But let's talk about the real thrust of this show. And this is something that has been used time and time again in Star Wars, which is basically that while the machines are very advanced, they do not match up with humans. And the fact of the matter is, when you have a computer and you have a human, the human always wins out. The whole idea that Darth Vader was mostly machine by the time he and Luke Skywalker saw each other off shows that the humanity beat the machines. The fact that Luke in Star Wars turned off his targeting computer and used the Force shows the man versus machine kind of motif. So what we have here is Samuel Cogley being someone that just has piles and piles of books because he does not trust computers. Now, this show was made before a lot of computers were as well in your pocket as they are now. And we know very well now that computers can make mistakes, that computers can be corrupted in their programming and things like this, and that there are people that are capable of doing it. It's kind of funny that Spock taught chess to the enterprise computer when in our century chess comes as kind of a free app on most of our phones. Nevertheless, the idea that computers can glitch was something that seemed to be new to the Star Trek folks. But the whole thrust of the idea was that books and rights and ideas, the ability to face your accuser and to never take anything at face value, was what this was talking about. And as it turns out, of course, Kirk was, of course, let off. We weren't surprised at that. He wasn't going to take a ground job and somebody else make captain in the first season of this show. But the idea that they put across there, that everybody needs to have his day in court, that machines cannot be considered the be-all and end-all of everything. And in fact, I saw something on the web not long ago that I had printed out and put in my office that says, if technology is your problem, you don't understand technology and you don't understand your problem. I like that idea and that sentiment there, and it is done very well in Court Martial, one of the better first season episodes among some very good first season episodes of Star Trek, the original series. I'd like to know what you think about this. Please let me know in the comments below. And of course, subscribe, because your subscription will help grow this channel. And now that I have no day job, I'm interested in having this channel grow and for it to be shared with more and more to be shared with more and more fellow nerds. So I hope that you'll join us by going to the subscription button, and or you can click the little red, the little blue ON symbol, and that'll also subscribe you to the channel. And if you ring the bell that's below this video and most YouTube connections here, you can also be notified when the next video comes out. However, our videos generally come out on Tuesdays and Fridays, and the occasional Monday and Thursday, but just about any day. Check us out and see what's coming your way. But if you do ring the bell, it'll notify you when the next video comes your way, and you'll be able to catch us quickly. So thank you for watching, and until next time, don't go far.